It must feel good to be Mauricio Umansky. He's still married to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards, but at least once a month, he gets photographed by paparazzi tonguing random women on the side of the street. It's almost like he wants people to see them. RHOBH star Kyle Richards' estranged husband Mauricio Umansky is kissing another woman in Los Angeles. Since Kyle and Mao separated, we've seen him swapping DNA with various women in a handful of locations. Of course, there was the lady in the airport. Then he was kissing someone on the side of the street in Aspen, only to turn around and get spotted with a different lady days later. This time, the PDA happened back home in Los Angeles. In the photo obtained by Briefing on Bravo, you can see Mauricio kissing a blonde lady and hoisting her up into the air like a scene from a rom-com. You can't make out her face, so this woman could literally be anyone. According to insiders on the scene, Mao and Mystery Blonde were walking down the street holding hands right before this picture was taken. At one point, he took off his black jacket and wrapped her in it. He's such a gentleman, right? While Mauricio continues living his life like he's in a Hugh Grant movie, there's still no word on what's happening between him and Kyle. In the last season of RHOBH, they failed to give any concrete updates on their marital situation. The last time Kyle spoke about Mao, she said that they were on good terms and focusing on co-parenting their adult children. Mauricio and I get along really well. You know, we both want the best for each other. We love our daughters, so we were very good friends. I have his back, he has mine, Kyle claimed. Tongues and taboos. The Mauricio Chronicles. Paparazzi flash. The streetlights on Melrose Avenue flickered as the sun dipped below the Los Angeles skyline. The golden hour cast a glint across the polished windows of designer boutiques and cafes. Most people walking the street were too absorbed in their phones to notice the SUV that had just pulled over by the curb near the Ivy. Out stepped Mauricio Umansky, tanned, casually dressed, a Hugo Boss blazer over a white t-shirt, and those ever-charismatic eyes shielded by black Ray-Bans. He looked relaxed. Too relaxed for a man whose marriage had been the subject of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tabloid fodder for months. That's when the blonde appeared. No one knew her name, yet, but she had the kind of cascading golden hair that made heads turn. Wrapped in a vintage leather jacket and skinny jeans that clung to her like they were designed in Paris, she looked both glamorous and unbothered. She reached for Mauricio's hand as they crossed the street. They paused just outside an art gallery, the kind of place that sold minimalist canvases for 10 grand. Mauricio leaned in, whispered something. She laughed, and then it happened. The kiss. Not a peck, not an awkward lean-in, but a full-blown rom-com moment. He swept her up, literally lifting her off the ground. Her legs wrapped around his waist instinctively. She giggled like no one was watching. But someone was watching. A paparazzo across the street fired off a dozen shots like a sniper. And within 48 hours, the photo would be everywhere. Briefing on Bravo, TMZ, Dux Moy, even the Daily Mail. Headlines would scream. Mauricio's Maesteri Makout. RHOBH hunk Losika's lips with blonde bombiachil. But the story was only beginning. Housewives and hurricanes. Kyle Richards sat on her shaded Bel Air terrace, sipping from a crystal goblet filled with lemon water and disappointment. The photo had just dropped. Her phone lit up with texts from Lisa Rinna, Dorit, and even Erica Jane, who'd recently blocked her and now unblocked her just to send a single message. Girl, you good? She wasn't. Of course, Kyle and Mauricio were technically separated. But this was different. This was public. This was humiliating. I don't understand how he's not even trying to be discreet, Kyle murmured to her assistant, Melissa. Melissa, loyal and PR trained, said nothing. But her eyes were wide. Should I call him? Kyle asked aloud, more to herself than anyone else. She didn't. Instead, she called Sutton Blonde Ambition. Meanwhile, the internet was in chaos trying to identify the mystery blonde. Reddit's Bravo forums lit up with theories. Was she an influencer? An actress? Someone who once dated Brody Jenner in 2011? The truth was far stranger. Her name was Anya Calder, a 29-year-old art curator from London who had been working at the Los Angeles outpost of the Gagosian Gallery for the past year. Her Instagram was private, but someone leaked a screenshot from her LinkedIn. She was Oxford-educated, fluent in French, and had previously dated a Formula One driver. "I didn't even know who he was," she told a friend over Aperol spritzes in West Hollywood the next day. "He said he was in real estate. I thought he looked familiar, but like maybe from $1 Million Listing or something." The friend, Holly, choked on her straw. "Anya, you're snogging Kyle Richards' husband." Who's Kyle Richards? Anya was about to find out. Confrontations and cameras. Bravo producers moved quickly. The new season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was already filming, but now they wanted more. This was real-time drama they couldn't have written better themselves. Kyle finally sat down with Mauricio 2 days after the photos broke, cameras in tow, mix hot. They met at a neutral location, a quiet garden restaurant in Brentwood. Kyle wore a cream sweater and oversized sunglasses that hid her emotions. Mauricio wore contrition like a cologne. "So," Kyle began, fingers curled tightly around her iced tea glass. "That was something." Mauricio sighed. "I didn't mean for it to be public. We were just having a Nicholas Sparks moment," she snapped. He smiled sheepishly. "Look, Kyle, I'm sorry. It just happened. I'm not trying to disrespect you." Kyle exhaled. Her voice dropped. "But you are Mao, and you keep doing it." Aspen, lax, now this. Mauricio leaned in. "I think we need to finally have the talk. The real one. About us." She blinked, emotions warring behind her lashes. "Are you asking for a divorce?" A long pause. "I think maybe we both need to admit this marriage isn't a marriage anymore." Silence. Tears welled in Kyle's eyes. Not the mascara-streaking kind. The quiet, dignified kind. "Then say it," she whispered. Mauricio looked at her, looked at the cameras, then back again. "I think it's time." The fallout. The episode aired 3 months later. Fans were split. Half sympathized with Kyle. The other half wondered why she hadn't ended things sooner. Mauricio didn't comment publicly, but he posted a vague Instagram story that said, "Everything happens for a reason. No regrets. #LaVientRoth." Anya, on the other hand, disappeared. Deleted social media. Went dark. Some said she was now dating a Norwegian billionaire. Others believed she'd taken a job in Tokyo. But that wasn't the end, because just weeks later, on the red carpet of the Buying Beverly Hills Season 2 premiere, Mauricio arrived not alone, but with a different woman. A brunette this time. Slim, statuesque, wearing Valentino, and a smirk. Another mystery. Another headline. Kyle's revenge. Kyle wasn't crying anymore. She was evolving. Inspired by the chaos, she launched a wellness brand, Kyle *Uli, pronounced Kili naturally, featuring affirmations, crystals, and a line of CBD-infused under-eye patches called Namaste Away. She was also spotted having dinner with Morgan Wade, again prompting another round of rumors. "Let them talk," she told a producer during a confessional. Then she smiled. "I'm finally the main character." Mauricio, rewritten. Mauricio sat in his Beverly Hills office, sipping tequila from his branded glassware. The city glowed outside the windows. A drone buzzed overhead for a Netflix promo. He had money, fame, a bachelor pad that could double as a James Bond lair. But something gnawed at him. The kisses, the headlines, the flings, none of it filled the space Kyle had once occupied. Not really. He missed their kitchen dance parties, missed her laugh, even missed her sisters. But this was the life he'd chosen. He picked up his phone, hovered over her name, then put it down. Some doors, once closed, only open from the other side. Housewives never die. A year later, Bravo dropped a trailer for RHOBH, Vengeance Hills, a limited spin-off featuring Kyle, Lisa Rinna, and Denise Richards of all people. It opened with Kyle standing on a Malibu cliffside in a floor-length red dress. Her voiceover: "They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but I like mine served with tequila and national television." Cut to black. Cue the tagline: "Betrayal, breakups, Beverly Hills," and in the final shot, Mauricio at a party kissing yet another woman, only to lock eyes with Kyle across the room. She raises her glass and smirks.